Well, good evening, everyone. Before I get started on my remarks, and I think Jennifer promised me an hour and a half, so we'll go for some time. But I'm a gushing father tonight. Earlier today, my second daughter, I have 4 children. Well, my second daughter, who has opted to follow the career of her father, grandfathers, her mother, who's also a retired military officer, 22 years, lieutenant colonel. Our daughter, who's quite the athlete, we call her the Mouse, by the way. Her name's Jessie, but we call her the Mouse. She received an envelope today from the Cadet Command and a ROTC scholarship to the Citadel. And so, very, very proud of her. She'd already been accepted to the Citadel, but was going and also to go there and play golf because she's also quite a golfer. So this was icing, really just icing on that cake. But very, very proud of her, as well as all my children. My son is a already 11-year service member, wounded himself in deployment. Continuing to serve at Fort Bragg and a sergeant first class at this time. And I've got 2 other great daughters who continue to serve, Allie and Mia, who continue to serve and offer themselves as volunteers to my Wounded Warrior program. So I'm pretty proud of those gangs. So all of this, icing on the cake, and I appreciate the applause, but I got to tell you, that was when I got hit with that, that she received the scholarship today. It was a pretty good thing. And now I get to come out, and spend the evening with all of you beautiful, wonderful people, and sit with my friend there, a Medal of Honor recipient, Flo, and enjoy the evening and look at what we're doing. On top of that, Jennifer had sent me the run of the show and kept mentioning that the voice of God was going to be here. And I take it that's that voice I've been hearing, although I've been, at least praying to God for a long time. Rarely, he usually answers non-verbally. At the same time, what I didn't expect in a more profound kind of act tonight was that I would hear the voice of God when I heard Luis Avila sing the national anthem. Very indicative of the incredible resiliency we find in our warriors and the ability to step up, and not to mention the accompaniment by a World War II veteran. Absolutely tremendous. So to Mr. Gil Fletcher, much appreciated for the invite, and to Jennifer and Lindsay for dragging me out here and asking a crazy old colonel from Special Operations Command to come out. Very appreciative of it. To all the Special Operations Wounded Warriors, I've got a bunch in the room, including a couple that are on my staff, because we tend to hire into our program those that have gone through the trial and tribulation of being wounded, ill, or injured. So if the members of my Special Operations Wounded Warriors in the house tonight, including the 2 that were just up here, their spouses, and the ones from my staff, if you could all stand right now. You see the ones in uniform are Purple Heart recipients themselves. Day in, day out, the members of the SOCOM Warrior Care Program are out there bedside, in the rooms, working with the folks and hooking them up with resources like what Luke's Wings brings. And so I'm honored to lead them and honored that you would have them with us tonight. So to all the distinguished guests, dear supporters of Luke's Wings, as I already said, it's truly an honor to be with you tonight and represent the United States Special Operations Command and the organization that I have the distinct honor to lead and have led for the past 4 years within it, the U.S. SOCOM Warrior Care Program, known as the CARE Coalition. Let there be no doubt, the Special Operations Forces of the United States, which I'll refer to as SOF for the rest of my speech, so I don't have to keep having to say that over and over again, have borne a tremendous burden in the last 16 plus years of war. As a result, CARE Coalition has had to provide recovery care and advocacy for over 13,000 wounded, ill, or injured SOF service members. And our total force is only 70,000. We're also extending that to our SOF veterans, to family members who are in health crisis in the SOF community, as well as the Gold Star families of our lost special operators. Our numbers grow by the day. For example, just within the past 10 days, we've added 6 more combat wounded, and very sadly, another killed in action with Master Sergeant Jonathan Dunbar. And please keep his family in your prayers. SOF is the 1% of the 1%. Service members who assessed, were selected, went through the hardest training in the military with very high attrition rates, and became members of the force that's called to perform the most difficult missions laid on the U.S. military. Their operational tempo is demanding, the deployments intense, and they do it for full careers, exposing themselves to unconscionable dangers over and over again. Yet even after wounds, injuries, or severe illnesses, they actually demand to get back to the fight. 2 of those guys were up here on the stage just a couple minutes ago. What they're doing right now is getting back to unit. With Sergeant Powers, this isn't just the first time, this is the second time through the Wounded Warriors cycle. Getting back to unit, getting back to the job. The CARE Coalition was created by the SOCOM commander in 2005, and by the way, we were formally authorized by Congress in 2013 as a peer-level program to the service warrior care programs, to provide the care coordination and advocacy to ensure that the return to duty happens if at all possible. For the past 4 years, we have maintained a retention rate of over 73% as a result, and the DoD cumulative average for other service programs sits around 10%. Our remarkable numbers are due in large part to the type of people we have in SOF. Resilient, tough, determined, and dead set on getting back to the force they fought so hard to join and has become their other family, because the bonds formed in SOF units are tremendously strong. The other element of our success in the retention and preservation of the SOF service member, really our secret sauce, is rooted in why we call our program a coalition in the first place. It's a coalescence of the willingly supportive of the SOF community, found in our partnership with benevolent organizations that fill the gaps and seams that DoD and VA funding can't reach. Much of what we do couldn't be accomplished without this benevolent support that covers expenses and provides otherwise unattainable resources. Luke's Wings is one of those key partners, providing so much to those that deserve it the most. Since 2015, Luke's Wings has provided our SOF warriors hundreds of flights, touching the lives of countless SOF families. Already in 2018, they've touched 18 of our SOF families. Sadly, because I wish that wasn't the case, but that's what's needed. Many of those were just recently injured. And these figures reflect only support to the SOF wounded families, members and families. They've provided funeral flights for many other SOF family members, which is immeasurable in its impact. On behalf of the Commander of the United States Special Operations Command, General Tony Thomas, our CARE Coalition, and most importantly, the wounded, ill, and injured of the SOF community, and our Gold Star families, allow me to pass our most sincere thanks to the entire Luke's Wings team. Please stay in the fight with us. It's far from over, and we will need you in the days ahead. I sincerely wish that wasn't the case, but that's the nature of the world today and the business that SOF is in. May God keep watch over our special operators, their families, and those that are living with having lost a loved one. And may God continue to bless our nation and you all. Thank you.